in today's report, pointing out serious problems with the proposals from Brussels for a new pan-European supervisory system. Ill-considered, over-ambitious, and rushed proposals are dangerous. The City of London is Europe's, not just Britain's, financial centre. We bring business to the whole of Europe. What good would it do if the UK's financial services cluster found Europe so uncompetitive that it moved to Asia? The UK would be poorer, and so would our European neighbours. Thus, Stuart Fraser, our policy chairman, and I will press for better and deeper involvement with the European Commission and Parliament, involvement not only by Her Majesty's government, but by all of us. Besides the need to restore trust and to engage with Europe much more, competitiveness must be central to our long-term ambition. This must be our priority now, and it will be mine throughout the year to come. I will urge the government to commit publicly to a long-term vision for the city, a city which continues to contribute 8% of our national output and 14% of total tax revenues. A city supported, I hope, by government policies directed at maintaining an environment of certainty and clarity, consistency and credibility. And we will look for evidence that this vision is being sustained. Evidence which, Prime Minister, is already shown by the government's commitment to Crossrail. An evidence which we hope will be embodied in policies which encourage the retention of our highly skilled but mobile workforce, a workforce which is key to our competitive advantage. And by evidence of an immigration policy for skilled people, which addresses wider economic needs. Everyone, including you, Prime Minister, acknowledged the need for effective controls, but we do recognize enough the record of achievements by immigrants and descendants of immigrants. How many of these people would the current system allow in today? I wonder. Besides competitiveness, I will continue to encourage both here and abroad the need for international cooperation on a global regulatory framework composed of transparent, high and mutually recognized standards. We need an international approach because this crisis has shown just how interconnected the world has become. Then I want to encourage those firms and sectors in our industry which work with emerging markets. The G20 will demand that these countries be helped to prosper, but it will be up to us, with our myriad of links across continents and oceans, to make it happen. This is not just the job of government. Industry needs to play its part by clearly communicating the benefits the city brings to Greater London, to the nation, and to global trade and development. In that light, the City Corporation is working with the government and the industry to establish the City UK. The City UK is a new organisation to promote all UK-based financial services, independent, politically neutral, practitioner-led. When the City UK is formally launched early next year, I urge all city practitioners to become involved in its work. My late Lord Mayor, some people believe the economic crisis came close to wrecking our future, but there may be an even greater threat: climate change. Our government has played an energetic role in waking the world up. We in the city take pride as the world's leading centre for carbon trading and in funding innovative solutions, such as last week's news that a consortium of UK and European banks is making £1.4 billion available for onshore wind farms. This is but one example of city engagement in this vital area. After Copenhagen, we will need to consider how we can do yet more to bring our expertise to bear on building sustainable solutions. My late Lord Mayor, as you did, I will look to promote the commitment which city firms and institutions, delivery and thousands of individuals make by applying the city's wealth and the talents to the service of others. I know I am not unusual in being involved with 4 organisations which are responsible for raising or dispersing more than £100 million a year. But who outside the city knows about our corporate responsibility programs, such as Heart of the City, and the encouragement we give through the Dragon Awards? Or the 108 livery companies which support education, welfare, and their crafts, and our armed forces and cadets, support which our armed forces appreciate and deserve at a time when they are doing so much for us. Who knows about city businesses which donate in excess of £500 million a year to alleviate social disadvantage, a contribution worth some £820 million in impacts, and the much maligned hedge fund industry, whose members personally pour millions into children's charities each year? The answer in every case is all too few people know of these. Yet concerns and compassion for others is as much a part of our DNA as is competition. Which brings me to this year's Lord Mayor's appeal. Having joined forces under the Pitch Perfect banner, the London Symphony Orchestra and the Cricket Foundation will support thousands of disadvantaged young Londoners to acquire new skills, confidence, and self-respect through the thrill of learning music and sport. That is Pitch Perfect. Besides working on the Lord Mayor's appeal, I'm delighted that Claire, in pursuit of one of her interests, will also be supporting well-being of women. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of London has only been achieved by responding to the economic, political, and regulatory changes that are the city's constant challenge. My Lord Mayor, as my theme Forming the Future clearly indicates, I am passionate about the city's future. I will promote it, challenge it, and support it. If I may echo a phrase from President Obama, we can make it happen. And with positive support from the government, we will. We may not see a full-blown renaissance during my year, but we can and will prepare for it, build for it, and work for it. Thank you. Now may I ask everyone, save you, Ministers of the Crown, to rise as I propose the toast to Her Majesty's Ministers. Her Majesty's Ministers.
Raise silence for the Prime Minister.
My Lord Mayor, my late Lord Mayor, Your Grace, my Lord Chancellor, Your Excellencies, my Lords, Aldermen, Sheriffs, Chief Commoner, ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all thank the Lord Mayor for the eloquence of his speech and his statement of faith in the future of London. And let me also thank the late Lord Mayor for the excellence of his year's work representing the City of London. When these banquets began in the late Middle Ages, there was, of course, a Lord Mayor to host them, but there was no such person as a Prime Minister. And perhaps, to the relief of the guests then, no Prime Minister's speech. The office of Prime Minister, as those from abroad may now know, is an afterthought in the British Constitution. In the early days, the Prime Minister's speeches generally seemed to have had two characteristics. They were short, and they were of no, absolutely, and they were of no political importance. I hope to meet the first of these tests this evening. We live in no ordinary times. A year into dealing with the greatest economic challenge for generations, the first global financial recession. A few weeks before, as the Lord Mayor has said, the most important climate change decisions in human history. A few months ahead of nuclear negotiations that could, for the first time, genuinely bind the world to cooperate and not proliferate. And we meet just as America and NATO